Almost 2 years ago, I started down the path of really just trying to find a partner to address what I considered our primary use case for need for automation improvement, which is more member facing. So for us, we had, coming out of COVID, I was running the contact center at the time. Our CXO, Patrick, now oversees that. But he, at the time, we were having a really difficult time finding the right people to support our members and retaining them. It was staffing was a challenge then. And also, if you think about the role of a call center agent, it is a rough job. We are asking them to know every single aspect of the organization and to handle multiple calls from a variety of different members who have different needs. We wanted to make sure that we found a partner that could help us really elevate those positions and also to address that need. And so we ended up deciding on Interface AI. I found that the technology that was being offered as part of the virtual agent surpassed the competitors. And I'm very happy we made that decision. Olive sits at our primary phone number, right? So someone calls Great Lakes Credit Union, the very first conversation they have is with Olive, our virtual agent. Today they can speak English or Spanish to Olive, so that's huge, especially in Chicago. It's a very large Hispanic population here, so that was a big win for us, introducing that in partnership with Interface AI. Through that, they're able to transact on their account due to integrations we have through authentication and also our core system. It's been a very good journey. As we were digging into figuring out what's the best way to introduce Olive, our virtual agent, we decided to focus on more transactional needs. If you, and for any of you that are running a contact center, I highly suggest take a look at the topics, the main questions that your members are asking your contact center, or if you don't have a contact center, your staff that are answering phones. And it is highly likely that many of those members are asking for things such as, what's my available balance? What are my last 5 transactions? Other types of questions could be, when our branch is open, where ATM's located, etc. Take a look at those top calls that you're receiving, and I can almost guarantee that a core integration with a virtual agent like Olive will address those needs. Since her introduction, she's now handling over 70% of all calls during business hours, meaning that members are having conversation with Olive, they're getting the information they need, and they no longer have a need to speak to a person. What that allowed us to do is elevate the role of the contact center agent to more of a consultative type position, which is a better career path for those individuals, because they're then able to assist and support those members with more specific needs. Our agents are able to have that conversation to help our members. So instead of expanding hours of our call center or contracting with a third party to provide extended hours, instead, Olive is now tasked with being that primary support. And so during business hours, we're seeing 70% of calls are fully handled by Olive. So people are using that channel and saying, hey, I have a need, I'm just gonna call into it to get my balance or whatever the case. And they're using it, and there's not a need. The remaining 30%, they're leaving voicemails because they need someone to get back to them during business hours. And that's why we have a team there for that. Probably 1,500 to 1,800 calls a day, because it's at the carrier level too. So this is any call coming into GLCU. Our goal has always been to provide our members with multiple options to interact with staff, whether it be through chat or email or visiting a branch or visiting one of our full service ATMs or having a conversation with Olive. Sentiment analysis is built in the solution, so that's great. If someone seems frustrated, it does hand it off to a live person. But it also just helps to provide those members with that support when they need it so they don't have to wait for a call back. a lot of them, through education by our staff, help to direct them to having that conversation with Olive so they don't have to wait. Helping to communicate and share learnings with our members, those that skip over Olive, try to kind of bypass our virtual agent to speak to a member. We've trained our staff to have conversations by reading the interaction, the script that the member had with Olive. For this case, as well as any credit union looking to adopt AI and introduce it, it's important to put together a really thorough, well thought out business case that speaks to, could be vendor consolidation, right? For us, for Olive, it was truly the ability to right size the department, to elevate roles that it's a different salary band for those roles, right? It's different. It's a higher level role. And so there's more of a focus on support. And the goal is also to then be, by providing better support, more consultative support to these members, we're hoping that they then, because this is the credit union way, right? We're providing that personalized support for them, that they then stay with us longer, that we continue to be their preferred financial institution. So I would factor some of that in, right, into your approach as you build your business case. Think about, organizational size, technology savings. When we introduced Olive, we turned off an older solution that we had that was, one was an IVR, and another one was also just like I think it was called telephone banking. And so factoring in how a solution like this fully encaptures all of those solutions, both from a technology standpoint, a support standpoint, in your balance sheet, that's important to just kind of take all those into effect and see what those savings are. The way we as institutions can control that is more of a focus on things such as stronger authentication measures, right? Making sure that we're only supporting members that we feel have been fully authenticated, and elevating that, making sure that you are thinking ahead and keeping up to date with technology, because it's changing so much over time. I would take a look at growing threats both in the industry as well as within your institution. So the industry is seeing a significant rise in customer account takeover, CATO, right? So member account takeover, I guess you could say, for credit unions, but account takeover is on the rise. It continues to grow every single year. And so that is one area, when you think about then the controls that you have in place to protect your online and mobile banking, however you're offering, if you're offering telephone banking today, right? For me, I think about how is Olive protecting that member information. So I would take a hard look at things such as authentication. Authentication is really key, and how you can elevate it beyond those out-of-pocket questions, because those are due to data breaches, the big data breaches that we've all heard about, and they continue to happen. Look at your losses. Where are they coming from? Are there channels? Are there services that are driving it? And then also think about holistically, how can you better protect your environment? Layers of security and keeping up the speed is really key. It's definitely not easy, that's for sure. And it's something that we're constantly looking to improve over time. So I see it as two factors. So one is ensuring that you are providing services and technology that's easy to use. The average consumer today has an expectation that, think about their experience shopping on Amazon or using some of the big banks' mobile apps, right? They're really easy to navigate, simple to use. And so that should just become that's just an expectation at this point. So then when you layer on other protection measures like authentication, right? Being able to use technology where it doesn't feel like such a hindrance, it's more of a natural conversation or natural experience that member can really just adjust to. I think that's important. So we keep that very top of mind. We think about, one, how can this protect our accounts, protect our members from loss, or organization from loss, but also ensuring that you are partnering with your MX team to ensure that when members actually go through this, that it's meeting their needs. So constantly refreshing it, relooking at it to keep that as a seamless experience as possible. That's really key. And then the other piece is just constant education. We have housing counselors that are focused on providing our members with great guidance and advice on their financials. Think about how you can kind of use that approach to also educate members on their creating a more secure experience, protecting their accounts, and why it's important to do that. Something that we're going to have to focus on soon is how can we really help our members better secure their information, right? Their own settings across all financial institutions, because their security settings and their posture helps us too, right? It helps to ensure that our systems, that our network is very secure. So having those conversations with them, giving them guidance, keeping your website up to date with webinars and information, using Instagram for different security tips and tricks is really important. So just constant communication is really key. So it's an ongoing challenge, and it's something that we'll constantly have to be moving forward and thinking about the future on. But I really believe that the future is figuring out how you in real time can proactively prevent these type of events from occurring through the appropriate security measures that include solutions like this, like biometrics, leveraging technology that's out there today to prevent the deep fakes, to prevent any type of fraudsters from accessing your members' accounts should be top of mind and a constant focus to be aware of. When we look to introduce Olive, we did not just introduce Olive, we also replaced our call center solution. We also flipped over from physical phones to soft phones through Teams, all in one project. And so it was quite the undertaking, but the team was bought in. They knew that this was the right decision for our members and for our credit union. And so through proper planning and through vendor integration and interactions, the process that Interface follows for introducing change is very strong and it's well structured. We really followed what you had already proven out with our core, and were able to immediately see the benefits of that. Find the right partner like Interface to make that happen, and you will see the results. And at the end, everyone will understand.